So when I went to sell my car, I basically got like my 30, 50 grand back in payments, and you got nothing back. So what do I use for my next car now as a down payment? Well, I got to go get more money and make more money so I can spend more money, right? Versus I just retain my money. So I didn't do anything different. All I did is instead of thinking about the monthly payment, I thought by buying the right car, I'm retaining the value. So I'd rather pay more per month as long as the more is being stored in the car, rather than thinking in what can I afford per month. I need to look at the overall cost of what is this asset going to, what does it cost now, what is it going to be cheaper for?
See, that's the business mindset. You're looking at the exit from the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's smart. Okay.
Same thing with marriage, right? You always look at the potential issues. You go, what happens if I need to exit? Well, that's what you have prenups for.
Speaking of marriage, you're a married man now.
Yeah.
How does that change your lifestyle since back in the day you were more single doing your thing? What's changed?
Nothing.
Same?
Yeah, like I mean, I've always wanted a family. That's the only reason you should get married. You should never get married, period, in America, unless you want a family. It's fucking worthless.
I agree, 100%.
It's completely fucking useless. Like, it's a government getting involved in your personal life. Like, what the fuck for? There's only the benefit of, carrying the same last name or things like that are relevant only if you have a family, like if you have children and stuff. But otherwise, no.
And being a dad, what's that like?
That actually didn't change my life that much.
No?
No. And I'll tell you, a lot of people, like, I guess one of the reasons that I think it changes a lot of people's lives is because it gives them a sense of purpose. And I've always had a very different sense of purpose, to like a personal sense of purpose. And I've also been a very conscious person. And as a conscious person, you realize that consciousness is single player sport. It's not living life through the eyes of others. So I love my family, and I love being able to pass on knowledge, right? And being able to help bring forward like the future. But at the same time, it doesn't change my personal outlook on life personally. Does that make sense? Like, my life experience is different as an individual than it is as a dad. So it's like, basically, these are two different things. I can fail at one, not fail at the other, or vice versa, or be great at both. But they don't really intertwine in a way where it's like, because I have a child now, I'm super additionally motivated.
Yeah.
No, like, I was fucking rich, I'm going to get richer. It doesn't fucking change anything. Like, I'm not getting richer for my kids. I'm glad that I'm able to give them a better baseline start that I had growing up poor, right? Like, meaning I didn't have a baseline of knowledge, and I have a baseline of, like, connections, network, and, what I want to do in my life and how to go about it. So I had 10 years of learning curve. Well, my kid's not going to have 10 years of learning curve, right? Like, she's going to be like, boom, much faster. I can go down this direction, and I have some guidance and some funding, whatever I want to do. That's the power of compounding knowledge. It's the same thing, but I don't think that it has any correlation on my personal life.
Yeah, I think most of us are lacking guidance nowadays, and we look to people that are not, I would say, authorities in their field for advice sometimes, and it leads down a bad path. So that's a good point. Real quick, so back on the car stuff. When should somebody buy a car? Because I think they should wait, not buy it right now, until we see what happens when Trump gets in office and things happen more along those lines. But what do you think? When should someone buy a car?
So it depends what they're buying. So if you look at buying anything, you have to stop looking at it as a car is a car. A car is originally transportation. Now they are cars that are leisure driven, right? Exotics are not just transportation. You don't need a Ferrari to go somewhere. You just need a car. Yeah. These are different classes of people buying stuff. So if you are buying, let's say Kia, well, you can fucking buy a Kia anytime. It doesn't fucking matter. It's going to depreciate the shit anyways. You're going to lose your money.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And the argument is actually contradictory to some people believe. I believe Trump coming in office will trigger inflation more rather than less. I know there's some people that feel like the world's going to get cheaper. I think that's the giant confusion they have about a Trump administration. It favors the rich, not the middle class at all. It never has. It never will. Like, there is no part in that where they do tax cuts for rich people that help the middle class. Now, I'm not a Democrat, nor do I give a shit, but there is, and Democrats are morons. They fucked this country up for the last fucking 20 years.
I agree.
That's not, that's a different argument here altogether, but financial policy of Republicans is always driven around business owners, individuals who are independent of the system. They're talking about getting rid of the IRS, getting rid of institutions.
Yeah.
Those things don't favor fucking poor people. They favor rich people.
So, guys, if you're listening, that means get rich now. Don't wait.
No, because if you buy stuff and it's going to cost more later, I mean, buy it now. Like, we don't think interest rates are going to drop anyways. They're going to probably stabilize, maybe drop another half a point at best. At best, you know, and that's a good thing if they do that even. So I don't think people should wait. I've been telling people in my community to buy whatever positions they were going to take in exotic cars and watches and markets end of last year, like last quarter. I was like, that's your last shot at getting really cheap shit
Do it now.
before the
Okay.
switch starts occurring. And in January, we saw record sales first 2 weeks, car business, watch business, you know, like all of my students are like, I can't stop getting orders for stuff. I'm making more money than I've made before. I don't understand, you know, like where did this come from? He's not even in office. It's the confidence in the market.
It's the hope and the confidence that you're saying that he's going to come and change things around.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the confidence that he's not going to fuck things up worse. Meaning people are like confident that basically they can invest money in whatever path they're going to take. They're not going to have a surprise where they're going to get cut if they have money. So that's like where people are afraid because they're like, oh, I need cash reserves, right? When you have Republicans in office, they're like, let's get aggressive. Markets are probably going to go up. I can put money in play, you know, things like that. So markets usually soar whenever you have Republicans in office because free markets are, you know, more favored. And they usually lower taxes on capital gains. Lower taxes allow better tax write-offs and things like that. So
Speaking of soaring markets, back in 2021, 2023, around there, everything was high.
Mhm.
You know, people were buying, getting hella loans, getting whatever they needed done because they're giving loans to anybody. People bought cars, like myself. We bought cars that were overinflated with price. Now it went down, the market went down. Obviously, now you're basically underwater. How does someone get out of a underwater car? For example, meaning that you've paid maybe $400K for a car that was worth $200K. How does someone get out of that deal and not lose too much, if at all?
I have some bad news for you, though. Money doesn't just appear in trees when you fuck up and buy stupid shit.
Oh man.
Are you talking from personal experience?
Yes, and non-personal. I got friends, myself, even someone watching.
You're pulling that asking for a friendship.
Okay, hold on. For me too. How does someone legally get out of this without being destroyed?